Today's video is going to show you the reorganization of a minimalist children's closet. Now, the benefits of minimalism with children is that there is less for them to scatter, less to clean up, less to manage. And that is certainly applicable to clothing. We're going to talk about my best tips for keeping your kids' clothes organized. Stay tuned. So what do you do when the stomach flu hits your house and you're too tired to watch your kids and they pull everything out and make huge messes? Well, you reorganize. Hi, I'm Teresa Elling. If we haven't met, welcome to the Peaceful Home. I'm so glad you're here today for this quick video on organizing a children's closet. This will be applicable even if you are not a minimalist, but I hope it will inspire you. Every single time I go into a department store and look at kids' clothes, baby clothes, I am in awe. How can they continue to make such adorable things? Honestly, I don't understand. Year after year after year, new patterns, new styles, but everything is so cute and it can just make you want to buy it all. Now, this is really for another video, but I always encourage parents to thrift, to buy secondhand. Why spend so much money on things that your children are going to outgrow or stain or rip? Saving money by buying secondhand is the way to go. Now, another thing is that when you keep your number of items to a minimum, that makes a huge difference in how you manage your home, the peace of your home. When there's too many things, it's just so much clutter. It's so much to manage, so much laundry. One of the techniques I use with clients is to ask them how many of any certain item do they think they should own. I had a client years ago and I was working on her 8-year-old daughter's room and she had a lot of clothes. Well, mom was not real keen on doing laundry. She fell behind a lot. So for her, she wanted to have 3 weeks worth of clothing. Personally, I think there's another issue there that needs to be dealt with, but she was the client, so she wanted 3 weeks worth of clothing. So 7 times 3 is 21. That would be 21 pairs of underwear, 21 pairs of socks, 21 bottoms, 21 tops, a smaller number of dresses, a smaller number of coats or jackets, etc. When I counted the number of shirts that this little girl had, this did not include sweaters or jackets, just short sleeve and long sleeve shirts, it was 89. 89 tops for a little girl. Now, we went on to complete the job doing that for each thing. I think there was probably over 50 dresses. I don't remember how many pairs of pants, socks, shoes, etc., but it was a ton. And this is why this poor little girl could not manage cleaning her home. And to be honest, it's why mom struggled so much with the laundry. Having fewer clothes really forces you to be on top of it with laundry, and it can really help to simplify your routine. Here are some before shots. We really did have sickness in the house this last week, and it just made everything harder. And my daughter's 2 children, who are 3 and 18 months, had pulled all of their clothes out of the bins, dumped the bins upside down, made a huge mess. And for days, nobody had the energy to clean it up. She was really needing to go through stuff, so we decided to get this done today. Well, she stayed off camera. I went through everything. I think it's definitely realistic to go through all the clothes for 1, 2, or maybe 3 children in a day. When I did this for my 6 kids, I would go through everything seasonally in the fall and in the spring. And normally I could complete that in about a day and a half, including getting some laundry done, having to run to get bins, and figuring out where we had gaps, where there were needs for certain items of clothing. So I started just by scooping all of the clothing onto the bed. Most of this was clean, but a few dirty things got mixed in, and we filtered those out, got those in the laundry. We also found some other things in other rooms and brought those over so that we had a pretty good idea of how much clothing the kids had. When you start this process, I would like you to label a few different bins. So in this situation, we have Nehemiah and Amelia, Maya and Millie. And we had a 2 big box for boy clothes. We have a 2 big box for girl clothes. Now that means that the next season we will pull those bins out, and that will be the new clothing for that child. We also need a too small box. Now, if you are done having children, you can simply have a too small box or an outgrown box, and everything goes in there after the last kid, and it gets donated or it gets passed on to someone else. If you think you may be having more children, then it's great to separate them into boy and girl items. So you would have an outgrown girls box and an outgrown boys box. Now, I know a lot of people are very particular in how they do their clothing storage, and some people are really amazing at sorting by size, like girl 2T clothes, boys size 7 clothes, whatever, and you absolutely can do that. I found that just having a too big and a too small box for each child completely worked. We have only one son and 5 girls, and what that meant is that when my oldest daughter got her clothing, it would have one dot. I would just press a Sharpie marker into the back tag of each item of clothing. And that one dot meant it belonged to my first daughter. When things got passed down to her sister, I would add a second dot, meaning for daughter number 2. And then when she outgrew things and they were passed to the next daughter, a third dot, etc. That meant when I did laundry, I could immediately tell who the item belonged to. Most of my kids were doing their own laundry by the age of 8 or 9. So after that, I didn't have to worry about as much, but it was a really great system to use. So today I went through each item, either putting it in their tops or bottoms drawers, if you will. They have these cubbies with containers, and that holds all of their clothing. And so I had tops for Millie and bottoms for Millie, tops for Maya, and bottoms for Maya, and then jammies for each of them. There's a basket for diapers and wipes, and the kids are the same size, so that's really convenient. They're also the same size in socks, so there's just one small sock bin on the top of the cubby. So sorting tops and bottoms, these are the current clothing, what they're wearing right now, what fits them right now, and what they will be wearing into summer and early fall. Then we made piles for clothes the children had outgrown, things that were too big for Amelia, and things that were too big for Nehemiah. Another thing we put in the too big boxes were clothes that maybe it's the end of the season, so a sweater, for example, that we think that child will be able to wear again in the fall. We go ahead and put that in their too big bin. I put all of the bins away back in the cubbies, and then it was time to label, and labeling is crucial. If you don't label something, you really don't know exactly what is in there. The other thing is that when Joanna's husband is helping with laundry, getting the kids dressed, whatever, he knows where things go as well. It also helps me or my husband, if we're ever babysitting, again, to know where things belong. If you want help, you need to make it easy for your helpers to get what they need. Millie does have an extra category, and that is dresses, and so the easy thing was just to hang those up. A lot of times I like to hang up children's clothing, all of their shirts, but Joanna really prefers for them to be in a bin. The other thing is she does not fold her children's laundry. And you know, that really can be a time saver if you have a lot of little ones. They don't really care if their clothing is folded up Marie Kondo style. I love the KonMari method of being able to fold and roll and tuck all of your items and line them up in bins, but that doesn't work as great with children, and it's an awful lot of time when you could be spending time with your children instead. It also makes it easier for your kids to put away their clothes, to have them help you when they're little. If you make it too difficult, they won't be able to help. This method makes it really easy. I got some bins at Target, and there were a few different ones that I tried. These soft fiber baskets with leather handles work really great, and they hold a ton. And you can use different kinds of labels. You can do a sticky label right on the handle. You can also do a hanging tag, chalk tag. There are so many inexpensive options for labels. You just need something that will work. We also labeled the bins in the cubbies, and those are soft labels, so time will tell how well they will stick and how long they will last. But the other option is to put the label down below or above on the actual wood cubby. For the most part, the kids' shoes are downstairs by the front door, And swimwear ends up outside all summer long, hanging up to dry on hooks. But Joanna wanted a spot for both of those in case those things found their way upstairs. So we have a basket for shoes and a little basket for bathing suits. Having hooks along the side of a closet are always handy for belts, scarves, jackets, hoodies, all of those things. They don't really have any jackets right now. We just had one jean jacket to hang up. And again, we're moving into summer, so it's time for swimsuits, not jackets. In the end, Joanna decided that she wanted one basket for 2 small items for both of the kids. And then all the things that were too big for them or waiting for a new season would be in plastic totes with lids that could be stacked and put in her armoire. There are multiple ways that you can organize kids' clothes. Just make sure that you have a place for everything and everything in its place. And that is evidenced really by the ability to label. Can I label this container? If I don't really know what's in there, I can't assign a label to it. And that also means it'll be more chaotic trying to find things as well as put away laundry. This really was a quick project. We finished it. This is what it looks like now. And I think it looks beautiful. Joanna loves it. And she feels just some peace now after kind of a rocky week. I hope that you will give this a try. Take an afternoon to organize your children's clothes. Share this video with a friend who might be interested. As always, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. I appreciate your support so much. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video, and I would love a comment on your best tricks for organizing your kids' clothes. Let's start a conversation and give each other ideas. How do you store off-season clothing? What do you do when your child has outgrown things? Share your ideas below. Thank you so much for joining me today on The Peaceful Home. Have a great day.